Coco Gauff and Sloane Stephens cheer on Tommy Paul after huge Houston triumph. Tommy Paul saved 3 championship points to win the U.S. Men's Clay Court Championship in Houston, earning praise from Coco Gauff. American tennis star Tommy Paul's clay court swing got off to a flyer with his U.S. Men's Clay Court Championship, and he is seemingly relishing that. The world number 18 recently shared a series of pictures online, highlighting his triumphant run at the ATP 250 clay court event, with fellow tennis stars Coco Gauff and Sloane Stephens also joining in the celebrations. The American, who entered the event as the 4th seed, received a direct entry into the second round. His opener against Adolfo Daniel Vallejo proved a bit tiring, but Paul eventually secured a 3-6, 6-4, 6-4 triumph. The momentum was with Paul as he secured a comprehensive 6-4, 6-2 win over Tomás Martín Echeverry in the quarterfinals and followed that up with a tough 7-5, 4-6, 7-6-7 win over Francis Tiafoe in the semifinals. Defeating Roman Andres Burruchaga proved far from straightforward for Tommy Paul, who had to claw his way back in a tense deciding set. The Argentine surged ahead with an early break and moved within touching distance of the title at 5-3, even holding 3 championship points on Paul's serve. However, the American held firm under pressure, saving all 3, aided by a couple of errors before finishing the game with a sharp volley. The 6-1, 3-6, 7-5 win helped him secure his 5th ATP Tour title and his first on clay. The 28-year-old's celebrations extended beyond the court, as he shared a series of photos from his trophy ceremony along with moments alongside his strength and conditioning coach, Franco Herrero, and head coach Brad Stein. Moreover, WTA world number 3 and 2-time Grand Slam champion Coco Gauff later took note of Paul's post and left a congratulatory message in the comments. "Congratulations, confetti ball," Gauff wrote. Meanwhile, former U.S. Open champion Stephens echoed Gauff's sentiments, writing, "Yes, TP." Paul stood firm under pressure throughout the match, saving 9 of the 12 break points he faced. The American will now aim to build on that resilience as he heads deeper into the clay court swing, with the French Open looming on the horizon. Meanwhile, Burruchaga failed to secure his maiden ATP Tour title by the barest of margins. The Argentine produced an impressive run in Houston, taking down 5th seed Brandon Nakashima and 3rd seed Lerner Tien before delivering a dominant semi-final performance against Thiago Agustin Tirante, in which he conceded just 2 games. Burruchaga's run to the final has significantly boosted his standing as he climbed 15 spots to world number 62 in the ATP Live rankings. The Houston night air still buzzed with electricity long after the final point had been struck. The crowd had thinned, the lights dimmed just slightly, but something lingered on the court, a feeling that this wasn't just another win. It was a moment, a breakthrough, a quiet declaration that hard work, patience, and belief had finally found their voice. Tommy Paul stood near the baseline, sweat drying on his brow, the echoes of applause still ringing in his ears. His victory in Houston wasn't just about the trophy, it was about everything that had led him there. The early mornings, the tough losses, the questions that hovered when progress felt slow. Tonight, those questions had answers. In the stands, 2 familiar faces beamed with pride. Coco Gauff leaned forward, elbows resting on her knees, eyes still locked on the court as if replaying the match point in her mind. "That was special," she said softly, almost to herself. There was something deeply genuine in her admiration, not just for the win, but for the journey behind it. Beside her, Sloane Stephens smiled knowingly. She had seen moments like this before, lived them, understood their weight. "He earned every bit of that," she replied, her voice calm but filled with conviction. "You can't fake this kind of growth." Their presence wasn't accidental. It was a quiet show of solidarity, of respect, of the shared grind that binds tennis players together beyond rankings and rivalries. They knew what it meant to fight for a moment like this. Down on the court, Tommy glanced up toward the stands. For a second, their eyes met. No words were exchanged, but none were needed. The message was clear: "We see you." Later, in the tunnel beneath the stadium, the energy shifted from roaring crowd to intimate celebration. Coco caught up with Tommy first, her excitement impossible to hide. "You were fearless out there," she said, grinning. "Like, you just decided it was yours." Tommy laughed, a mix of relief and disbelief still in his voice. "I think I just stopped overthinking," he admitted. "For once, I trusted it." Sloane joined them, her presence grounding, her words measured but powerful. "That's the difference," she said. "When you trust your game, everything else follows."
And tonight?
You trusted it completely. There was a pause, a comfortable one. The kind that comes when everyone understands the magnitude of what just happened. For Coco, the moment was inspiring. She was part of a new generation pushing boundaries, but nights like this reminded her that the path wasn't always linear. Growth took time. Belief had to be built, sometimes point by point. For Sloane, it was a reminder of resilience. She had known triumph, had felt the highest highs, and navigated the toughest lows. Seeing Tommy's breakthrough felt personal in a way, like watching a chapter unfold that she herself had once written, and for Tommy, their support meant more than any headline could capture. In a sport often defined by solitude, moments of connection like this mattered. As they walked out into the warm Houston night, the city alive around them, the conversation drifted from tennis to laughter, from pressure to possibility. The win was still fresh, but already it was becoming something more. A stepping stone, not a destination. "You know this is just the start, right?" Coco teased. Tommy shook his head with a smile. "Let me enjoy this one for a minute." Sloane laughed.
Fair.
"But she's right. Moments like this, they open doors." Tommy looked back once, toward the stadium lights glowing in the distance. "Then I guess I better be ready to walk through them." And with that, the three of them disappeared into the night, not just as competitors, but as part of something larger. A shared journey, a collective belief. Houston had given Tommy Paul a victory.